Welcome back, Truth Seeker. November 21st, 2023, back from the 1 week suspension. If you've been wondering where I've been, it's because I've been suspended. I get suspended all the time. I get my channels deleted all the time, and it's always BS. Case in point, I just got suspended exactly 33 weeks after I released the video about the Nashville, Tennessee shooting and all the 33s in it. If you can remember the one at the private school building 33 where they said 33 teachers worked, suspended exactly 33 days after that video was made. And that's nothing new. That's what they've been doing, the rituals with the suspensions and deletions since 2017, as we've also been documenting. But anyhow, now it's November 21st. The latest news is Israel and Hamas have reached a hostage deal on the day leaving 40 days left in the year. And remember, Hamas is supposedly backed by Iran, and the Iranian hostage crisis ended on the first day of Ronald Reagan as president, who was the 40th U.S. president who replaced Jimmy Carter. So all day, this was the news on November 21st, the day leaving 40 days left in the year. The agreement was reached in the early hours of November 22nd. In Israel, which is the day leaving 39 days left in the year. Of course, Jimmy Carter was number 39, replaced by Ronald Reagan, number 40. And of course, Jimmy Carter just lost his wife 2 days after she entered hospice care. And we have to wonder about, will Jimmy make it through tomorrow, the day leaving 39 days left in the year? But besides the tribute to Reagan, there's another reason that this has happened while it's still November 21st in the U.S. And it goes back to what we talked about with the gematria, the ancient practice of coding numbers into words, the gematria of hostage, which equals 75. And of course, Israel is 75 years old right now. And we know that New York Times headline with the big 75 in tribute to Israel. So let's go through all of this. And if you have not been following me in the suspension, that means you're not subscribed to my other channels, GematriaEffectNews 22, which is also suspended, and Gematria Effect Sports, where I've mostly been posting the last week. And realize what they've done to me. Recently, I had 5 channels. They deleted 2 of them, and then they suspended 2 out of the remaining 3. So I was down to 1 channel for the last week. And it's a reminder, I could be swept all the way off YouTube again. So be sure you follow me at my actual website, GematriaEffect.news. I'll always come back. But it can be hard to find a channel when it gets deleted because if you don't know how to use the search function on YouTube, you will not find the channel with the way the algorithms are now set up. And by the way, if you don't know how to find your favorite channel once they get deleted, you got to search for the channel name and then sort by date, sort by the latest content. Then the search actually works. But yeah, let's go through everything here. So again, in Gematria, hostage equals 75. And today, November 21st, 2023, where the hostage crisis was the big focus, it was a date with 75 numerology. And of course, Israel was founded in 1948 in May, which was 75 years ago. And then there's this headline from October 6th, 1940 by the New York Times, where it says, New World Order pledged to Jews. Arthur Greenwood, a British war cabinet, sends message of assurance here. Righting of wrongs, seen English rabbi delivers to Dr. S.S. Wise. New statement on question after war. Now realize, again, that was the publishing of that article was on a 75 date numerology, but it was also October 6th, a day before the war began in terms of the anniversary, right? October 7th is the day the war began in Israel, 1 day after the anniversary of this publishing. This article turned 83 years old, October 6, 2023, the day before the war jumped off. Anti-Semitism equals 83 in Gematria. It's the word everywhere. It's what all the news stations are talking about nonstop, all that supposed anti-Semitism. So again, just understand it's all ritual, you guys. It's all planned. It's all scripted. It's all one big sick joke day after day. And for exposing it, you get taken down for hate speech, even though there is no hate speech. For the last week, I've been suspended for hate speech for simply showing the way they encoded 33s in a mass shooting. And by the way, if you've not been following me on Gematria Effect Sports, I talked about how on last Friday, Fox News is the 5. If you watch last Friday, November 17th, Fox News the 5, the woman who was dressed in all red with the bleach blonde hair, she said in the show, there's 2 things American people should not be allowed to say. She said that free speech does not justify them. And the first thing she said did not surprise me, but the second thing in a way kind of blew my mind. But then I said, doesn't it make so much sense? The first thing she said Americans should not be allowed to say, because she's advocating for censorship if these things are said, Holocaust denial. She said that should not be allowed, and Holocaust denial should not be allowed. And again, anytime speech shouldn't be allowed, you got to wonder why that is. Can you deny other genocides that have happened? She didn't say anything about that. But the second thing she said that you're not allowed to say, she said you're not allowed to deny mass shootings. I could not believe it when I heard it. But again, you guys, the same people who cry about the Holocaust are the same people who cry about taking away First and Second Amendment rights after mass shootings, the Lenny Posners of the world. And again, look at the parallel. It's so obvious. We've been talking about it forever. But I just like, and not to mention the woman in red with the bleach blonde hair. She is also, one of them, Ashkenazi. But I was just like, oh my God. So if you guys have not, I mean, you got to go back and watch last Friday's Fox News The Five and get that audio clip and never let it go, because it's not just her speaking that. That's what it's been in this nation for the last 7 years. How many of us keep losing our YouTube channels for showing what's wrong in the mass shootings? Hate speech. Hate speech to show how they encode 33 over and over. That's how, you guys, that's why all of this stuff has to be stopped. And it's the Ashkenazis that are leading the charge on ending the First and Second Amendment. These people think they're greater than America and its values, and it's truly sickening, and it needs to be stopped. They're the real hate speakers. It's all in their good book, the Talmud, about how superior they are. But anyway, let's not forget the other 75 connections besides just hostage on this 75 date numerology. It goes all the way back to this October 6, 1940 article, New World Order pledged to Jews on 75 date numerology. New World Order equals 75, like order out of chaos. To add to that list, Catholic Church is 75. Again, that's what really runs the show. It's that Jesuit Catholic Jewish alliance. But Catholic Church 75, like Roman Catholic, like Ignatius of Loyola, the founder of the Jesuits, like heliocentrism, the model that went into motion in the 16th century, the century of the Jesuits, the century of the calendar we're on, the century of the 26-letter English alphabet. Again, the Catholic Church, sun-worshiping cult, the sun at the middle of it all, this war declared by Israel on a Sunday, and so on and so forth. So 75 is a big number, and also the word order itself is also 75, the bigger way. But from the start of the war, when Hamas attacked, to Israel approving the hostage deal is also 46 days later. And again, huge Catholic number, huge Temple Mount number, huge number that connects to the order out of chaos agenda, and a number that connects a lot with what just happened to Jimmy Carter's wife, that she died She died 46 years after Jimmy Carter took office in 77. She died 77 years after their marriage in 46 on the date July 7th. And again, it's all synced up with Biden, who's number 46. And, some people think Jimmy's JFK, which is an interesting theory. They would have to do some major surgery, including take inches off of his height. But JFK assassinated at age 46. This thing going down in Israel in tribute to Jimmy Carter and Reagan on 11/22, the anniversary of the JFK assassination at age 46. Feel like I'm forgetting another one, but we just covered it the other day. If you want to go over to Gematria Effect Sports and watch the video on we covered the Rosalynn Carter going into hospice care on Friday, and then the death on Sunday. So yeah, again, those are the two big things about why all day the focus was on the hostage deal. The date numerology was right. Plus, it's the day leaving 40 days left in the year to pay tribute to Reagan, number 40, who ended the Iranian hostage crisis. Again, this one's with Hamas, backed by Iran. And this is how the script always is. And that's why we're trying to educate people about the ritualism, so you can see that the people in control are always paying tribute to the past. It's the George Orwell 1984 thing. Who controls the present controls the past. Who controls the past controls the future. And it will continue to be this way day in and day out until the world rises up against this cabal and overthrows it. And it's so long overdue. It's just ridiculous. But yeah, so obvious. And if America wasn't asleep at the wheel, they'd be seeing all the exact same things. Um, just to recap, Rosalynn Carter goes into hospice care and dies 2 days later. Remember, Jimmy Carter went into hospice care at the beginning of the year and survived all year. And when he went into hospice care, they made it seem like he was going to die any day. There was headlines about his family being with him in his closing hours. It's like, okay, closing hours. Well, it's turned into almost a whole year. It was at the very beginning of the year that Jimmy Carter, we speculated at the beginning of the year, we're like, are they going to take him out on the 39th day of the year? Now he might go on the day, leaving 39 days left in the year. You know, the time is near for old Jimmy. Um, and if he does go on the, if like tomorrow's headline in the US, the day leaving 39 days left there, 39 days left in the year, again, you got to really start to wonder about all the people who've speculated if Jimmy could be JFK. Um, there are some photos where they do look very similar, but again, they would have had to do some major freaking surgery. They would have like have to take inches out of his legs. Jimmy Carter's a lot shorter than JFK, but there's something super weird going on with all of this. It's so obvious. And in light of them putting her in hospice care on the day leaving 44 days left in the year, remember that's the number that goes with Georgia and Jimmy and Rosalynn Carter, the Georgia couple. And remember when Netanyahu, we covered this before Rosalynn Carter got put into hospice care, before she died. We talked about why Netanyahu said no ceasefire on the eve of the anniversary of the start of the Iranian hostage crisis. He did that on the eve of the 44th anniversary of the Iranian hostage crisis. Again, in Gematria, ceasefire equals 44, but so does military, soldier, infantry, trooper, officer, execution, kill, Zion, Israel, and Netanyahu. Again, big time pattern. Never forget Netanyahu's 44 seconds of silence at the United Nations. That was back when it was a threat to Obama, who was in office at the time. But and also, don't forget this either. The first Iranian hostage crisis or the first Hamas hostage name released was Mia Shem. And we talked about how the people of Shem, one of the tribes of Judah, they're first mentioned in Genesis 10:21. The people of Shem. Mia Shem, again, was the first hostage name released. 10:21 in Genesis, the opening book of the Bible, is interesting because Netanyahu turned 74, that very special Jewish number in Gematria. He turned 74 on 10:21 this year. Gematria Jewish equals 74, like a cult, like Masonic, like killing, like stabbing, like how they're killing Gaza while it's 74 years old. And with regards to 75, let's not forget that the Superior General just turned 75, and so did King Charles. This whole New World Order thing. This whole Ignatius of Loyola thing, the first Superior General. Now they're paying tribute to the hostage crisis. Again, this narrative building between a future world war where Iran will be on one side and the U.S. on the other. I mean, just a narrative they've been pounding into our heads for decades, for all of my lifetime, pretty much. Again, remember, it was all foretold. It was all written by Albert Pike, the letter about 3 world wars, dated August 15th, the Jesuit order's birthday. Albert Pike's birthday, 1229, the day Netanyahu came back last year, the day we put out the video saying that there'd be a big war ritual in Israel this year. It was foretold when Netanyahu came back in that ritual on that day. And again, Netanyahu's name's 282. The war broke out 282 days after he came back. But Mia Shem, I wanted to, I thought I had it here. Must be in this post. Mia Shem, I just wanted you to be reminded of her name gematria. Again, gematria, very simple. Based on the alphabetic order. A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, D is 4, just turning letters into numbers and then adding up the value of words with the numerical value substituted for the letter. The alphabetic order is the most simple cipher. The alphabetic order with numerology is the next one. The reverse alphabetic order, Z is 1, back to A is 26. And then the reverse alphabetic order with numerology. Just notice how Mia Shem and Catholic are the exact same in every cipher. And there's probably something about Israel waiting for the hostage deal until JFK's death anniversary. Again, he was killed at age 46. He was number 35. So, yeah. Quick recap. And by the way, the Mia Shem video was released October 16th, 9 days after the attack, and on the 100th anniversary of Disney being established. Remember, Disney was De Molay. De Molay was Knights Templar, the military order of the Catholic Church, and the Pope. But notice how hostage and De Molay are the exact same in every cipher as well. And again, they put out the video on that day of all days. The most famous member of De Molay, again, Walt Disney. Walt Disney, the most famous member of De Molay. And the head of Disney right now belongs to what religious group? How dare you bring that up? It's just, how dare you guys be just such a bunch of crybabies? Don't you guys just get sick of these crybaby people that just want to silence everyone for speaking facts? If the fact is disagreeable to their agenda, it's hate speech. This needs to be stopped dead in its tracks. It need to be stopped a long time ago, and it's a damn shame it hasn't. So, anyway, we'll see how long I can stay back before the next suspension comes. Again, the fact that they've deleted 2 channels recently and suspended 2 channels very recently, and it had to be down to 1 channel. Make sure to subscribe to Gematria Effect News 22, 25. You're on 25 right now. Gematria Effect Sports. And I'll see if I can create a new channel yet. I haven't been able to make one, but I also haven't tried for a while. But I tried to make a 26 a while back when I was in suspension trouble, and it was not letting me make a new channel at the time. So, yeah. And I do have a Facebook and a Twitter, and I am streaming on Twitter and Facebook these days as well until they get suspended also. So I think those are the main points right now. Again, if you missed the Rosalynn Carter video, you can check that out. She died 135 days after their wedding anniversary. Again, they were married for 77 years and married on 7/7. And of course, DC's on the 77th meridian, and United States is 77. But 135 days after the wedding anniversary, Jimmy Carter 135. And then she died 93 days after her own birthday on a Sunday when they say the sun is 93 million miles away on average. And knows how Jimmy Carter and gematria equals 54 and 72, like Jesuit order, like sun is 54, like the sun moves 1 degree on the astrological wheel every 72 years. And again, Jimmy Carter also has the same gematria as Bavaria, 135 and 54, Jesuit order 54. The Illuminati, founded in Bavaria by the Jesuit Adam Weishaupt. And his death anniversary is November 18th. She died 1 day after that death anniversary at age 96, on the day leaving 42 days left in the year, when Freemason and knowledge and Satanism, they all got that 96-42 connection. The divisors of 42 summed to 96, so it was a perfect day for her to die at age 96. With regards to the Illuminati, Order of Illuminati is 93, Bavarian Illuminati is 188. Her birthday was 18/8. Again, dead 93 days after her birthday on a Sunday when the sun illuminates the world. The sun's 150 million kilometers away on average. Illuminati is 150 in the reverse. Again, dead 77 years after their marriage when Jimmy Carter became president in 77, when Joe Biden announced he was running for president at age 77. Keep in mind, she died the day before the Joe Biden birthday. He turned 81. The guy who supposedly got 81 million votes, and he's from Scranton, Pennsylvania, on Interstate 81, when President Biden equals 81. And then Monday Night Football, his Eagles won. They came in 8-1, and they gave the Chiefs their 81st all-time loss versus the AFC. And the game was synced with Hank Stram, who founded the Chiefs, and he died at age 81. Again, it's a reminder that the same secret societies running the sports leagues that run your news, your Oval Office. Week 11 in the NFL. Home teams won 11 games in Week 11. Master rituals. But yeah, Jimmy Carter, dead 46 years after becoming president. Remember, they called Georgia for Joe Biden on the 46th day of Jimmy Carter's age. Catholic and sacrifice got that gematria 46. I mean, just think about it. right before Biden's birthday. They've been paralleling these men the whole time. Energy crisis, foreign debacles, the comparison with the Iranian hostage crisis and Afghanistan's government falling and all the U.S. military equipment left behind and the 13 dead soldiers for the 13 stripes as they get sent back with flags over their caskets. But, yeah, Biden turned 81 yesterday. And remember our prediction from before? Well, we predicted why he'd become number 46 in the election 46 weeks after his Pope's birthday. And as he was being inaugurated, we predicted why he would leave office early once he turns age 81. Again, I'm still thinking it's going to be around June 1st, but it could be sooner. Remember, June 1st is 1,229 days from him taking office, the 201st prime, kind of like how Netanyahu came back on 12/29. You see how President Biden's 72 and 81 yesterday on his birthday. The Chiefs came in 7-2. The Eagles came in 8-1. What a script. Jimmy Carter's wife died 49 days after his birthday on his 50th day of his age. Washington, 49 and 50. Again, she died at 96 on the day, leaving 42 days left in the year. She comment said that from Synchronous Sam said that she died on Larry King's birthday. I don't know if that's related or not. I remember Larry King went out by the numbers. We definitely covered that. R.I.P. So, all right. But, hey, it's good to be back, and hopefully we stay back for a long time. Shout out to Rick James, always with the generosity. Appreciate it. Shout out to Fabian Livingston. That Iran hostage crisis ended 5 days before Super Bowl 15. Remember Joe Campbell, who played for Saints Raiders, won that Super Bowl in New Orleans. Very interesting. Very interesting. Okay. It's a good observation. The way they sync it all up. Amazing. Neither team went 8-2. Will he, as in Joe Biden? Again, I mean, there's a lot of reason to think 81 could be the end of the road for Slow Joe. So, all right. Well, we'll keep it short and sweet, Truth Seeker. Again, if you guys got here late, go over to, if you missed me the last week, it's because you're not subscribed to Gematria Effect Sports. It was the only channel I had available. So, lots of content over there from the last week. We've been busy. But, again, here's the Gematria Effect Sports channel. Things you might have missed out on the last week. It was a ritual. It was a week of 1-1-3 in the NFL, and home teams finished 11-3 for the week. Talked about why it mattered that it was Dak Prescott's 113th game, 113 days after his birthday, when Dallas equals 1-1-3. Right before the JFK assassination anniversary, and how his brother died on the 113th day of the year, and how his mom died on November 3rd. Again, and why they had him playing the Panthers on the day, leaving 42 days left in the year. Of course, we covered the Rosalynn Carter death. The Israel, if you guys missed last Friday's news where Israel made history with the Star Wars, the first rocket ever shot down from space, you got to go back and check that out. We showed, it's obvious now that Star Wars, when that movie came out in 77, that same year, it was literally synced with Israel perfectly. 29 years after Israel's creation, the flag with the star, Star Wars equals 29. Star Wars also equals 119, like Star of David. We've actually been talking about the parallels with Star Wars and Israel for a long time. But this thing they just did last Friday was so blatant. Again, George Lucas has the same birthday as Israel. He was 4 years old when Israel was established. His first film, THX 1138. If you've never seen it, you should check that out. Big fat 201 in that movie, too. Shout out to Frank the Truth Tank, who filled us in on that. But yeah, you should watch this video about just everything, the purge. The 44,000 hours of video for January 6th released on the day, leaving 44 days left in the year. Cassie accused Puff Daddy of rape right after his 54th birthday and then settled for the next day. Kim Kardashian, GQ's Man of the Year. Just the cover with no face and her nipples, just reminding of all the men that are starting to get, what is it in Fight Club? Bob with the bitch tits. More and more of that in society with males. Super 47 rituals on the day, leaving 47 days left in the year. That was the same day they suspended me. So I didn't get to do that video. I uploaded a video that morning, and then I got a suspension like 2 minutes after uploading the short video to GematriaEffectNews 25 last week. So all stuff you might have missed out on. Mostly on the videos tab, just a lot of sports stuff. San Diego Padres owner died in an obvious ritual the day of the owners meeting in Arlington. Arlington equals 47, dead on the day, leaving 47 days left in the year. Then a pitcher connected to his team wins the Cy Young right after. I mean, just it's and he died at 63. Major League Baseball 63, so was Padres. It's just stuff they do, man. It's just ugh. So anyway, I don't know when the big names of the world are going to cover this content. I don't know how the big names of the world got to be big names anyway. They're all so boring and non-interesting. And I look here and I see that it says there's 238 people watching. There should be 238 million people watching. Every damn person in America should be tuned in tonight. And again, thank you to everyone who does tune in and hits the like and the share and helps get out the word. But we got to wake humanity up. Time just can't keep ticking by as things get worse and worse. And we got to do something to change the course of humanity, Truth Seeker. Yeah, his name was Robert Paulson. Yeah, indeed he was. I haven't seen Fight Club in forever, but I remember that line. So, all right, Truth Seeker, we will leave it there. Have a good rest of your evening. Again, thank you to Fabian Livingston, Rumham Solo times 2, and Rick James. Appreciate it. Have a good night, all. And until next time.